Wow, it's been 500 days of fasting.
1, 2, 3.
How did I do it? How did I lose 20 pounds and kept the initial 20 pounds off for the last 18 months? I'm gonna talk about it right now. How did I keep off the 20 pounds initially? Well, my regimen started out this way, but first I want to share how I got into intermittent fasting in the first place. So as most of you know, I became a caregiver about 3 years ago for my mom who had a stroke, and a very much a major stroke. And so I found that I was taking on her diet, her regimen, and she likes a lot of carbs and she likes a lot of sugar and processed food, things that I wouldn't normally do. At the time, I decided to become a vegan, and I was a vegan for a year. And during that year, I was gaining more weight, and then the weight just kept continually just increasing. My pant size gone up, and I saw myself in a photo and I said, okay, enough is enough. I started doing research, looking at how can I do this and sustain it, right? And I was looking at this as a lifestyle change. As you saw in my first couple of videos when I first started the channel, I had lost 15 pounds in the first 2 weeks. How did I do it? I did 48 hours out the gate. Once I decided that I was going to fast and do extensive fasting to get to my goal, I knew that I wanted to do it in a short time and figure out how to maintain it from there. I started on a Sunday, and I did right then and there 48 hours of fasting till Tuesday evening, and I had a little bit of dinner. When you come out of an initial fast, you can't just go in and busting a steak, you know, like a ribeye or something like 20 ounces. So I did the 48 hours, and then I did a small meal, which we call a refeed. And then I went back into 24-hour fasting for the next 5 days. In the following week, I did another 48 hours out the gate, and then I was eating 1 meal a day, which was still at a 22 to 24-hour increment. So I was always fasting for those 2 weeks and beyond. And I kept going that way. The first month or two, I was definitely doing 48 hours of fasting at least every other week. There was times I just didn't feel like it and I didn't do it, but I would just stick to the 1 meal a day. And that became my maintenance mode as well. I was very consistent about fasting and when I would do it. I will say that I did one time I did 72 hours. I wanted to get used to fasting with drinking water and adding electrolytes into the water, which is Himalayan salt. I would put in about less than half a teaspoon of the Himalayan salt and squeeze in a lime or a full lemon, and potassium powder that I would put into my water so I wasn't hungry. And I felt great. As long as I was drinking that with the electrolytes, no problem whatsoever. So fast forward to my regimen in the last 18 months and what I do to maintain the weight. It's OMAD most of the time, 22 to 23 hours a day that I fast, and I give myself a 2-hour eating window to eat a full meal and also to snack on a little bit of almonds afterwards or some chocolate, which I love the dark chocolate, on a daily basis. So when I mess up, you'll see in my videos when I go on trips, when I travel, it's tough to do that. And you and I probably realize that it's very tough when you're taken out of your routine. And the key to keeping the calories in check, your macros in check, and so you can maintain your weight or lose a couple of pounds, is to be eating at home. I don't eat out more than once or twice a week. So usually that's on date night on a Friday, and Saturday just to get out of the house. I eat fish and vegetables to do that on a regular basis, and I think that always kept my calorie portions in check. maintenance is very important to keep your carbs low. So the bottom line is, can I see myself doing this for the rest of my life, or at least foresee it for the years to come? Abso-freaking-lutely. I see myself doing this forever because it is just become such a wonderful gift, because I want my health to be optimum so I can take care of those that their health is not. And it's statistically proven that as a caregiver, our stress is so high that we tend to get more sick than the actual person we're taking care of in the first place. So the question of the day is, how did you keep off the initial weight that you have lost? By what kind of regimen did you do when you were fasting? You know, there's the warrior diet, there's the alternative fasting, there is the extreme fasting, and then there's intermittent fasting, where you just have a certain eating window where you, like a 16-8, you sort of 8 hours of eating window and 16 hours of fasting. I'd love to know what that is. I appreciate you leaving a comment. And also, I'm on Instagram, so if you want to check me out at RegEdited, the same name, come by and say hello. And thanks again for watching, guys. I really appreciate you. And don't forget, caregiving begins with you. Talk to you soon. Bye.